Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's live training. We're going to be talking all about using your intuition to navigate your business so that you can get more results with more ease. So, yeah, I woke up this morning and I was feeling just this pulse of energy running through me, and it just felt like I wanted to do this training and I wanted to do it today. And I also really wanted to connect. I wanted to have some space to connect with you and be able to possibly do some live coaching or laser healing sessions. So this is why we're doing it on this platform. And yeah, I just want to thank you. Thank you for being willing to go with the spontaneity and to to show up last minute and to follow the impulse. So, yeah, so thank you for those who are live. And if you're if you're listening to the replay, thanks for, for tuning in. So before we dive in, I just want to start by getting us here and doing a grounding. So everything that I do when I'm working with my clients one-on-one or any trainings that I'm doing, we always start with a grounding and a getting here. We need all of you present. Anytime we're focusing on anything in our business, we want all of us present. We don't want to create from just some of our energy or part of our energy. We want all of us on board and all of us present. So if you want to get comfortable wherever you are, and I invite you just to take a few deep breaths. And as you do, feeling into your body, noticing how you're feeling physically. There's been lots of energy moving the past really couple of months, but this week specifically. So if you felt some swirling, some dizziness, just really letting yourself come to this moment. You can even imagine pulling your pieces in. So I always like to check in and see, where do I still have some energetic tendrils out? So if you are thinking about something that you have to do later today, or maybe you dropped your kids off to school and you're still thinking about them, or maybe you're thinking about a client, notice those places where your energy isn't fully present. So you can just take a moment to breathe into that and check in. Where are you still not fully present? And then see, how can you pull that energy back? So just imagining little energetic hands, just bringing them back to you, to your heart, maybe to your mind. And just taking a few breaths and noticing how that feels as you bring them home. Yeah, you might even notice just bringing this energy back, you start to feel like more seated in yourself. You might even feel like you're sitting a little bit taller, or like you're able to relax more fully in. So this is the point of doing this, right? We want all of us on board as we are focusing on our business or creating. Beautiful. And then from this place, I invite you to take a few breaths and feel into, what is your intention for today? What guided you to this call? What do you desire to receive from this call? Whether you are here live or you're listening to the recording, what is it that you desire? Is it inspiration? Is it clearing? Knowing, remembering? What is it that you need today? You are the creator, so you get to decide. You get to set the intention for what it is that you need, what it is that you want, and allow that to come forward. Beautiful. And so then from that space, I invite you to take a few more breaths, claiming that intention, coming back into your body, coming back into this moment. And then when you are ready, you can open your eyes. Beautiful. So welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm excited to dive into this. As I mentioned on the beginning of the call, I was just really feeling this impulse today to do this training, and I wanted to have a place to really be able to connect with some of you. And so it felt like, doing it here live on Zoom was the way to go so that we could actually open the lines and do some playing, in the energy, which is like my favorite thing to do. Because I think that there's a way that we can talk about all these things, but it isn't until you're actually able to experience it and feel it in your body that you get it. And that's what intuition is, right? It's not logical. It's actually an experience. It's an experience of yourself, of your truest self, and what you need for yourself. And, one of the biggest things that I see happen with people in the online space and in business is there's so much logic, right? And there's so many people telling us how to do things or what we should be doing or the fastest way to get results or their secret formula, right? And when we are looking at all these things logically with our mind, even working our mindset, right? We pick an affirmation, we pick a goal, and then we're working really, really hard to try to align to that goal that we're wanting. If we're coming from that logical space, we're missing out on a huge opportunity to have all of our energy on board. Our mind is only the tip of the iceberg. When we can get all of us on board, all of these parts, all of these pieces, when we can sink into our lower chakras, our root, our sacral chakra, that is where the magic really happens. And so, yes, so energy is an experience. Intuition is an experience. It's a whole body experience. And we need all of you on board. We need your whole system on board for you to get the maximum results in your business when you are taking action. And, just one last piece on this. I love this analogy of, if you are trying to wash dishes and you're trying to wash clothes and you're taking a shower all at the same time, what happens is the water pressure becomes really low. So maybe your shower, you don't have as much pressure and then it takes more energy to like wash your hair. Or if you're washing dishes, the pressure is going to be lower and then it's going to take more energy to actually wash the dishes. And it's the same thing in our business. If we are creating, if we are operating from this place of having our energy scattered or having these energetic hands out where we are tending other places and holding other things and even holding our clients, plus trying to do the work for ourselves, we don't have all of our energy on board. So it's going to put you working harder. It's going to put you in the place of doing more. And, possibly in this place of burnout where maybe you're getting the results, but you're having to work so hard for them. You're tired, you're burnt out. It's like your passion starts to dwindle down. And so today what we're really talking about is connecting back to yourself, right? Connecting back to your intuition, your passion, that potent energy flow that is within you, and then using that to be the guiding force of your business and using that potent energy to maximize your results in your business. So this is not about not having a strategy, right? Because, structure, systems, that gives us the masculine structure for then us to be able to be more fully in our feminine intuitive flow. So you can think of your strategy or your systems as like the riverbanks, and then your intuition your passion, your energy is more of like the river. And so we want both of them. You know, we want both of them on board, and that's whenever you're going to get the maximized results. So, yeah, so I have a 3-step process that I use with my clients when I'm working with, really in the programs where I'm teaching, but also when I'm working with clients one-on-one. We go through this 3-step process. So that's what I'm going to touch on today, giving you the basics of how to use your intuition to navigate your business and get the maximized results. So the first step is really becoming aware of your energy. Your energy is everything. You as an individual, as a person, you know, that is the river. And so as an entrepreneur, as a coach, a healer, you are really the guiding force of your business. It's not like a product where the product is the energy itself. Like, you are the energy, right? And so your energy is everything. If you aren't feeling inspired, if you aren't feeling full, right? If you feel like you're working really hard and you're not getting the results from that, or what I see happen a lot of times when clients come to me, the exchange is off, right? So maybe they are giving and giving and giving, and then they're not getting a return, right? Or maybe their price isn't matching the energy they're putting out in their business. If the energy exchange isn't there, it's going to put you in this place of feeling tired or feeling burnout, you know, not wanting to show up. And so when we're looking at personal energy, it really starts with getting present. So just like we dropped into this meditation in the beginning of the call, where we're really noticing how you're feeling physically, noticing where you're not fully energetic present, right? So where you're thinking about other things, what things are pulling your attention or your focus. Noticing this gives you clues. It gives you clues of where your energy is. And when I am working with clients, and also in the programs that I have, like in my Awaken program, we go specifically through 5 different energetics that affect your business. And I'm just going to give you a rundown. Like, we're not going to go deep into all of these because it's so much information. I have a full class on that, but you know, the first part is grounding. So where is your energy? And you know, like I was talking about at the beginning of the call, if you are fully operating from your mind, that's just a tip of the iceberg, right? Because we have our heart center, we have our solar plexus, which is like our power center. And then we have our lower chakras, which are more of like where our passion and that deeper knowing is. And so knowing where you are operating and knowing how to bring your energy down, right, is going to be an essential part of being able to have more of you on board. And yeah, I'm feeling the nudge to just bring you through a quick exercise here. So just so that you can get a feel for where you are operating and what it feels like to be in the different centers. So if you want to just take a few deep breaths, you can close your eyes and just start to come into presence. So noticing how you're feeling. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go through 3 energy centers. So the first one is going to be your logic, your mind. And so I want you to imagine a heart right in front of your third eye, in front of your forehead, just hovering in the front. And I want you to focus all of your energy there. So focus your attention, focus your awareness there, and start to notice how that feels in your body. You can notice how your breath feels. Notice how your headspace feels, your heart. It's like what I'm noticing is present for me is like I start to feel almost spacey. So you may notice that. You might feel like, for some of you, it might feel actually comfortable, or maybe it feels like there's just so much mental energy. So this is your mind, this is your headspace when you're operating from that place of mind energy. So then what I want you to do is imagine your heart, that heart dropping down into your heart space. So again, just hovering in the front, but dropping down. And then when it gets into your heart space, focusing all of your attention and your awareness there. And notice how that feels. So notice, again, how your body feels, maybe your heart, your shoulders, your breath, your mind. For some of you, this might feel more natural. For some, it might be a little bit uncomfortable. So just noticing, there's no right or wrong. And then I invite you to drop that heart even deeper. So let it drop into your belly, your solar plexus, your power center. So just imagine it slowly dropping down. And then taking a few breaths there. And again, just checking in with your body, noticing how you're feeling physically. You can notice your breath, your shoulders, your heart. Beautiful. And so then just taking a couple neutral breaths, coming back to center. And then whenever you're ready, you can open your eyes. And so with this exercise, you can feel, you can notice what it feels like for you when you are operating in these different places. This is awareness. This is great information, right? This is where, you know, when you start realizing where you're creating from, right? Are you creating from your mind? Are you creating from your heart? Are you creating from your deeper knowing, your deeper power source? This can give you more information of the energy behind what you're creating. So, for me, the deeper something is in my energy, usually the more potency it has. So, like when I come up with a creation and it's like I feel it deep in my belly, I know that thing, whatever the thing is, like I'm totally gonna rock it. Because it's coming from a deeper place within me. Usually, if something's coming from my heart, um, there can go a couple of ways. Sometimes it's gonna like transpire and there's gonna be lots of passion and lots of energy flowing. And then, there's a way that with our heart, we tend to feel The heart's all about feeling. So sometimes with the heart, if our heart's really open and expansive, we can still take into consideration other people and then start to get caught up in other people's energy or what they want. And so if I'm my heart is more of my natural state, being in my heart center, and it's great. And sometimes I'm still overly stimulated or overly pulled by the energy around me. And so knowing where you are, and you can also use this exercise when you are meditating before you're creating or before you're taking action, or if you are wanting to put a strategy in place or feel into what the best action is for you. You can use this to navigate what is the best decision for you. What is it that you want on the deeper level? Okay, so Charity says, how do we know where a particular idea is coming from? Would that exercise be how we determine that? Yes, totally. So you want to notice how it feels. So if you sit with the idea, so let's do that. So I want you all to like pick something, whether it's an offer, whether it's an action step you're thinking about taking. Pick something. It's better if you just have one thing for now, just for the exercise. And so I want you to think of that thing, well, yeah, I mean, bring it to your awareness. You don't like necessarily have to think about it because that's going to influence the exercise, but I want you just to like imagine it near you. So in your energy field. And just start to feel into it. So notice like where do you feel it in your body? So for some of you, it's like I can feel the head. And then for some of you, I can feel where it's wanting to go more towards the heart. So just notice, and then as you're checking in with that, what does it feel the most like? When we went through the different energy points, if you just go back to those, what does this action or this offer, like where does it feel like it is in relationship to those energy points? So feeling into that. So Charity, if you want to just maybe share if that answers your question around that, or if it helps any. Okay, perfect. Yeah, so, and, if something's like, if you feel it really logically, it doesn't mean you can't do it. Sometimes when I'm doing something, I will feel a lot of logical energy, and sometimes we have to just take the step anyway. But for me, like if I know that if I'm launching or I'm wanting to attract a client or I'm putting something out there, I really try to get into the lower, into my heart or into that deeper space. Um, and the way that I do that is by feeling into what is it that I need. You know, it's an inward process. So going more in, you might even feel into like knowing where your fears are around the thing. So sometimes I'll just use a program for example. Like if we have a program that we're wanting to offer, So whether it's a group program or maybe it's a one-on-one program, if there's part of us that isn't fully on board with doing it, it may feel more challenging to actually put it out, or to get into your heart space or get into that deeper alignment flow of where the energy is really moving and flowing. And so if you notice this happening, it doesn't mean that the first thing that I would do is like really checking in and seeing, like, do I really want to offer this? Like, am I really excited about this offer? Is it something that I really want to offer? So first you want to check in with yourself and see, like, how are you feeling about the offer? Is it something that you're really wanting to do? Or is it something that you're like creating from your mind, you know, and like just trying to do because you need money or whatever the thing is? So, and it's okay, right? It's okay to create an offer because you need money, or it's okay to put something out because you need money. Like, we're entrepreneurs, right? Like, money is a priority. You need to be able to support yourself. You need to be able to pay your bills. So if that's why you're putting something out, like, you want to fully claim that, right? You want to fully own that. Like, I'm doing this because I need money and because doing this is going to support myself. And I need that support to be able to show up in the way that I desire. So knowing why you're offering it and like where the idea is coming from, or like what the motivation is, checking in to make sure it's something you're really wanting to do. And if it is, then you want to see like what part of you isn't fully on board with it. Because if it's feeling challenging, more than likely there's a part of you that isn't feeling fully on board. And I'll just give you some examples of um, different reasons that part of you might not be on board. So it could be you are feeling everybody else's energy and you might think like, oh my God, well, what if I put this out and they still don't want it? So it could be around that, right? Like not feeling worthy enough or not feeling confident enough. It could be what I've seen for a lot of my clients, especially people who have clients and um, they have a running business and a successful business. What'll happen a lot of times is there's this block around, if I take on more clients, I'm going to have less time and space for myself. It's going to be more responsibility, more work. And so again, this isn't like a logical thing, but it's something that could be deep in your energy. And if this is coming forward for you, you need to, and this is the work that I do with my clients. What we do is we go towards these parts of ourselves that are afraid or that are shut down or that are resisting. And we really get to know, what is it that they need? How can we get all of us on board with what we're wanting to create in our business, with the success that we're wanting to have, right? And so this is what needs to happen for you to be able to get the results with more ease. And so again, using your intuition really is knowing yourself on the deepest level, and then using that as a tool to navigate. So just to recap, so what I would do is really check in with the offer, see like, where am I offering this from? Do I even want to be doing this? Is there something else that would feel more exciting or more, am I more passionate about? Then I would check in if you do want to do it and you're still not feeling on board, or you still feel like there's some resistance, or you still feel like you're having a hard time getting into the flow. Checking in with, where's the resistance? Where's the fear? and go towards that, get to know it, and then explore what do you need. So if this part of you is really afraid of having time, like if you take on more clients, you're not going to have time and space for yourself, then you want to see like, okay, well, how can you make more time and space for yourself? If you are bringing in those clients, is there a way that you can free up energy as you bring in the money? Like, what would that look like? Is it having more support? Is it getting support for your children to where you're not, being mom plus entrepreneur plus coach and all these things? And so for every person, this is going to be different. And there are other stories, that could also be blocking, but that's just one of the common ones that I see. Any questions about that? So you want to be aware of your energy, right? Um, where are you operating from? Then you want to know, are you fully on board with what you're offering or what you're doing? Another thing that is coming forward to share. So one of my current clients, we actually had this conversation yesterday. So she she's been wanting to move forward in her business, and there's something else that she really wants to do too. Like, it's kind of part of her business, but it's a separate thing. And so she's been trying to get herself on board with like doing this class or taking some one-on-one clients, so offering a group program or taking some one-on-one clients, and she's been resisting. And what I shared with her is getting really clear on the why. What is the focus behind this? Like, what is the motivation, right? Like, why are you wanting to do this? What is doing this going to do for you, right? And she was coming from it at this place of wanting to impact more people and wanting to bring in the money, and that actually wasn't what she wanted on a deeper level. As soon as we plugged into the things she really wanted on a deeper level, which was actually, she wants to bring in resources, like she wants to resource herself so that she can get to this next place and do this thing that she really wants to do. When we plugged into that, I could feel the alignment already clicking into place for her. So she was going about her daily practice and her alignment practice of trying to get on board with like this offer, and that wasn't enough motivation for her. So like she would focus a little bit and then she was like drifting away, like stuff would come up, or so she would self-sabotage. When we plugged into the thing that she really wanted, then it was like, okay, so we can use this other thing as a stepping stone to get to the thing you really want, but we want to focus on like getting to the thing that you really want, right? And so using that as your target, it gives you much more momentum. And so if you notice you're struggling to get yourself on board, or to stay focused, or to keep the momentum, really looking at what is the thing that you want, right? And again, when I'm working with my clients one-on-one, we're diving in deep, so it's not this want from your mind. It's on a deep level, coming from your core of who you are. When you're creating from that place, everything you do is going to have that much more energy behind it. So of course you're going to get more results with more ease. So a couple other energy patterns that are really big that I work with my clients around: energetic boundaries. So if you notice that you get totally derailed, by the online noise, or if there's a lot of moving pieces. So this happens to me. This is like one of my patterns. Um, when there's a lot of moving pieces. So, like if I'm transitioning clients, if I'm wanting to offer something new, if I have personal stuff happening while I'm trying to do something in my business, and it's Mercury retrograde, and it's all these other astrological things. I'm kind of making a joke because it's Mercury retrograde right now. But what will happen is, if you don't have good energetic boundaries, you can get pulled by the energy happening around you, even to this point of where you start to like feel like you don't even know who you are, you don't even know what you want to do. Maybe you are showing up from what your clients want, but it's like not really what you want, and it can take you off your center. So this can also affect you because if you don't have the energetic container for yourself, it's harder to actually receive, because you don't have a place for the client or the money to land. Or maybe you start to receive the money, the client, and then it feels like the energy just flows out, just as fast as it's coming in. It's like you're doing all this work, you are bringing in clients, you're bringing in money, and then you're like, but wait, why don't I have money in my bank account? Like how come, like, the consistency isn't building? It's like you are generating, and it's not holding. And so this is usually an energetic boundary thing. And we can work these patterns on a logical level where we are trying to put more systems in place in our business and trying to put more structure and that kind of thing. But if you don't have the energetic container for yourself within your aura, and then even deeper, on these deeper levels of energy, it's going to be really challenging to hold the structure outside of yourself. Everything is a reflection of our inner world, our inner landscape. So if you notice that is happening for you, it's probably an energetic boundary thing. So, and we have to have a container to be able to receive success. If we don't have the container, then it's going to be really hard to actually receive success and allow your success to build. You may feel like you're working really hard to stay at the same level, and it's challenging to expand to the next place. So these are things, when I'm working with my clients one-on-one, we are working their energy, we're changing these core patterns. And when we have these patterns, usually it's because it's a safety mechanism. We are protecting ourselves from usually it's our biggest fears. So whether that's abandonment, whether it's loneliness, whether it's feeling like if we grow our business and are successful, somebody's going to leave. And so this isn't stuff that's like just on your conscious mind. It's much deeper than that. And so to really change these patterns and create more space, right? To create the deeper container to where you can receive the success you want and create from a place of passion and inspiration and flow, you have to change these core energetics that have been protecting you for a really long time. And you have to create the safety within your own system, like rewiring those parts of yourself, letting them know that you are there to support them now. This is, business changing, but life and relationship changing work. It's when you change these inner terrains, you change everything. Seriously. Actually, I think it was just this week, one of my former 6-month clients, she was like, oh my God, this work is still unraveling and I'm still seeing the benefits and the results, and it amazes me. And like, that's the thing, right? Because it's it's like, as you bring these parts of you forward, it's lifelong. It's you start to walk and talk and live from a different place. It's truly magical. So we have your personal energy, the energy of your business. So we talked a bit about the energy of your business already, but this is the second step. So you really want to know, like, where are you creating from? We also want to know, like, are you really on board with the things that you're creating? Because if not, then you're not going to get as much bang for your buck. If you aren't feeling excited and passionate about the things that you're doing, if it just feels like work and bringing in money, like, you're not going to get the maximized results. Or two, like, if you are showing up and this happens for me sometimes. So I give myself some systems and structures, and then usually I give myself permission to, like, burn them down and recreate them as much as I need to. Because if I'm trying to fit myself in this structure all the time, even if that's like posting on Facebook and having a marketing strategy, when it starts to feel not good to me, I burn it and I do something else. If you're talking to a business strategist, they would tell you, like, don't do that. That's stupid. But I know for myself, if I keep putting myself in a box that doesn't feel good, like, I can feel my life force energy, like, draining from me. So for me, I follow the flow. I follow what feels good. I follow my inspiration, my passion. And when I do that, when I give myself permission to do that, then it's like more and more of me comes forward. It's like, oh yeah, I wake up and I'm like, I want to do this live training and I'm going to do it now because that's when I want to do it. Like, I don't want to plan it out 2 weeks from now. And then it's like, I lose my momentum. I lose my inspiration. I'm not excited about it anymore. You have to follow what feels good. And for me, that's the way that I do my business. And the way I do my business might not feel good to you. And that's totally okay. Like, I don't want anyone, none of my clients, none of the people in my community, none of my mastermind students or people in my courses, like, I don't want them to do their business like I do my business. My goal, my intention is to help my clients tap into their own magic and their truth, and then create from that space of what is true for them. And again, this is knowing yourself on the core levels. And when you bring that into your business, it's game changing. So we have your personal energy, the energy of your business, and then you have the energy that you meet the world in. So this is a totally another level. So we can feel totally confident. We can feel in our zone, right? Within ourselves. And then when we go to meet the world, there could be a different experience. Other emotions might come up. We might start to feel too open. We might start to feel like we take in other people's criticism or their opinions, or we adapt to what they're wanting, right? We might start to feel those impulses. So again, these mechanisms that we create, it goes back to unraveling the why. Why did we create them? Why are we trying to protect ourselves? What are we trying to protect ourselves from? And then creating safety and creating new patterns within our system. And Yeah, let me just see what else I want to say about that. So, when we're meeting the world, like this could be in a free training like this, right? This could be in the way you are showing up on social media. So, that might look like your strategy. That might look like um, the content that you're putting out. I know for me, especially in the early stages of my business, like I felt so confident once I had a client in front of me and I could actually do the work with them, like get somebody in front of me and I felt confident. But if I had to like tell somebody about what I did and I had to like try to sell what I did, I would go into not feeling confident at all. And so that was like the way of me actually meeting the world. Like there was a lot of layers around that, and there was some resistance and there was some fear and some blocks, right? And so for you to get maximized results, this energy needs to be open. And again, this goes back to knowing yourself and trusting yourself on the deepest levels. You have to be grounded within yourself so that you can show up with an open heart. And I'm going to share this piece that I had a session for myself this week. And the things she told me, we were actually doing some heart healing and working a really deep layer. And it was around masculine energy. And, I was like, gosh, we were healing some pieces around my relationship with my dad. And um, I was also really present to like how that um, affects, the way that I do and don't like masculine energy in my business, right? So the systems and structures, like I'm okay with some systems and structures, but too much starts to feel it doesn't feel supportive. And so we're healing this piece, and the thing that she ended up telling me is like, are you willing to open your heart and be hurt and still be willing to continue to open your heart? Because there's a way that like when we put something out, and this was happening to me an extent and I noticed it a lot in the past, but as I was working this layer I started to notice it. Like I would go to do something and then I would almost leave energetically. So it's like I might put an offer out or a post or whatever, right? And then I would energetically leave. And so then it's like there's no way for there's no energy there, right? So it's like, of course, I'm not being met because I'm not there to be met. This was happening in my relationship, this was happening in a coaching program that I'm in, a year-long program. I started to feel like, why am I not being supported? Well, because I wasn't actually there to be supported on an energetic level. And so, when she told me that, and she was like, are you willing, to open your heart and to stay with the heartache? So it's like if you then feel like you put something out and nobody's wanting it and it's like breaking your heart, right? It's hurting. Can you actually stay with yourself in the pain and not leave yourself and continue to open your heart? These are the layers of how we meet the world. So if we are putting something out and then we are leaving, well, we're not actually available to meet the world. And this matters. If you are taking action after action and putting things out and you're not getting the results, there's some energetic things happening. You can keep taking action and keep, doing all these business things, but until you get your energy aligned within yourself and you get these pieces of yourself on board, it's going to be hard. So, yeah. And There's a way, there's a way, and the way is home. The way is coming back to yourself, coming back to these places in yourself that you have left, that you have abandoned, that you have locked up, that you have contained because you were afraid. You were afraid of, if you unleash them, if you unleash your magic, what's going to happen? Will people leave me? Well, guess what? You've already left yourself, you know? This is why we have to free ourselves. This is where we come home and we free ourselves. Yes. So good. So yeah, so I'd love to talk to some of you and hold some space. This is the work that I do with my clients, and it's like one thing to talk about it, and it's another thing to actually be able to experience some of the holding for yourself. So I want to offer that here. Yeah. So if anyone wants, is willing, and brave, there will be a recording. So total disclaimer that, this is going to be recorded. So if you want to be held, you don't have to say your name. I don't have to say your name, but it will be recorded. So just FYI. So you can let me know in the chat box, or raise your hand if you would like some support. Okay, so Angel posted in the chat, I'm struggling with toxic people attacking me and owning my power to communicate my needs, for having time to work on my business, meditate, and exercise. Okay, perfect. So I really want to speak to this like feeling attacked. So what I do, if I'm noticing myself feeling attacked, or if I notice like feeling like people are angry with me or giving me resistance or whatever the thing is, usually there's a way that I'm doing that thing to myself. So, we have different parts. When I'm working with my clients, everyone has two core energetics. And so usually when we're working, we work with these two core energetics, and then we work with inner child and different past life versions of yourself and that kind of thing. But if we look at these two core energetics, usually there can be one that might judge, or might get angry with us, depending on what the core energetic is. But I would look at, are you attacking yourself in some way? And maybe it's around, not having time to work on your business, or time to meditate, or time to exercise. So if you're really wanting to do those things, and then you're like also like beating yourself up about not having time and energy for those things, then you're attracting these people to activate that feeling within you, right? So it's like the part of you that's feeling maybe powerless, like I don't have time to exercise or to meditate and do these things that I want, and she might be feeling a bit powerless, and then you have this other part of you that's like frustrated with her. So I would just check in and see, like, what do both of these parts of you need? So we have another comment. I feel the same way. A sway in my energy on receiving inspiration. Sometimes I just don't feel like doing anything, which I believe relates to consistency and receiving clients. So, what I feel, because I personally, I have sways of inspiration all the time too. Um, what I notice is really feeling into what's present for me. So if I'm not feeling inspired, um, do I need something? You know, like what do I need to feel inspired? So sometimes that's to rest. Sometimes that is to disconnect for a little bit. Our energy is always going to be number one priority. So if there's something you need, plugging into that, the inspiration is always going to come back. So even me this week, like I was feeling dizzy, I was feeling swirly, I was like, I felt like I was drowning in the astrological energy. And I gave myself some permission around that. You know, like, okay, well, I'm not going to email my list. I'm not going to do these things that feel forced because I wasn't feeling it. And then today I woke up feeling super inspired and I was like, oh my God, I want to do this thing now, you know? And so the inspiration hit. So when you give yourself permission to follow your energy, and again, it's like going in and really seeing like, what is it that you need? So I don't know if that's helpful, but you can let me know. Okay, so someone else. Um, if it's helpful, happy to offer a place for support. Yeah, so do you want to do a little live session? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to unmute you.
Hi, lady.
Hi.
Hi.
I'm excited to talk with you and dive in.
Me too.
Okay, so
Funny, you were on my heart this morning.
do you want to just say a little bit about what's happening for you?
Yeah, I feel a little bit like someone was just saying, like, sort of the lack of inspiration sometimes and not being consistent. And what you said totally resonated. But right now, the place where I feel the most swirly is I forget to work my own work. And then I get into like, what do I even do? And it's not tangible and I don't really know what that is. So what's my magic? And so I can get sort of really into that headspace and get way out of my heart.
Totally. Yeah, I can feel that. Is there, like, it feels like there might be something deeper. So we could just look at that. But if is there like something specific you're focusing on right now?
I mean, anything. I think it just feels so swirly. It's hard to even say. It just feels so like, I don't even know where to start. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. So are you open to dropping in and playing a little in energy space?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So if you want to just get comfortable and take a few breaths. Yeah, and just start to draw your attention and your awareness to your body. So noticing how you're feeling physically. And so I'm just going to name what I'm noticing and we can kind of go from there. So I notice the swirliness like in your head space, but it's
Mm-hmm.
also feels like some stuff is happening lower, like in your solar plexus and even in your like sacral chakra, your womb.
That would make sense.
Can you feel that? Like, can you feel that?
Yep.
The anxiety, like in your solar plexus, like it feels like, just all of this like movement, you know, almost like a shakiness. Can you feel that? Are you there? Hello. Oh my goodness, so funny. So this is totally a thing that happens when we drop into energy space. Okay, she's back. Okay, I unmuted you again. Hi.
Sorry. Oh my gosh. Sorry.
It's totally a thing. We like drop into energy space and wonky stuff.
Really? Of course. Okay. Sorry. I didn't hear anything. I heard sacral chakra and that's what I heard.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so it feels like in your solar plexus, there's like this shakiness and like all of these moving pieces. Do you notice that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Totally.
So I'm curious about that.
Like nothing really feels grounded.
Totally.
What's that?
I'm curious about that. You know, like that's the place I'm feeling like we should go towards.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So just see, like, can you go towards it? And you don't even have to like, it might be challenging to like drop into your solar plexus all the way, but even if you're just like kind of close to it, just see if you can start to move towards it.
Yeah, that shakiness feels like not shored up trust.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's accurate, but that's what I feel.
Totally.
Like wanting the control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's interesting is like, to me, it almost feels like an earthquake. So it's like you have a ground, right? And then it's like all of this rumbling happens and it actually actually like dismantles the grounding in your solar plexus, you know?
Yep.
So then it's like you don't have a solid space there.
Yeah, it feels that's a great definition. It almost feels elusive. Like it feels like it's there, but it's not there. It's there, but it's not,
Totally.
consistent.
Yeah, so I'm curious, like it feels like there's something, so like to me it feels like this shakiness and this like earthquake thing happening is like in the front of your solar plexus, kind of like to the mid level, like the first maybe 3/4 of your solar plexus, and then it feels like there's something deeper in the back. So just see, like, can you notice what's towards the back, and is there a difference?
It's funny because the first thing that comes to me is really feeling like allowing and receiving. There's like a guardedness around it.
Mm-hmm. Totally.
Shocker.
Yeah, it's like in the back is like this, if I look at the back energy, it's almost like this river. It's like peaceful and calm and just there, right? But like also this confidence of like not even having to try really hard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like you have that space like protected.
Yeah, it feels like I don't know why, but I just got this image of like a moat around a castle.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like beautiful and simple and easy, but like you got to get over the moat. Like it's guarded.
Totally. Yeah, so just for the sake of like not, you know, I'm just finding like what is the easiest piece? Well, I'll tell you a few different things and you can tell me what feels good to you. So I think there's a few different things that we could do here. We could see like what is the part of you that's creating the earthquake feeling, and why is she creating it? Or we could just see like, can we just go closer to this energy in the back?
Yeah, I like that. I like going to the energy in the back because it feels more, I don't know why expansive comes to me. Just feels more like progressive.
Totally. Yeah, so see, even if you need to like create a magic carpet or create a pathway, like a bridge to where you can get to, like create some safety for yourself to where you can get to the place in the back.
It's such a weird feeling. It feels like almost looking at like a split screen or like I don't know how to describe it. It's like a beautiful nature scene, like beautiful water and flowing and thriving in life. And then like right down the middle is like this invisible wall. That's what it feels like.
Mm. So I'm curious, like, do you feel like maybe the wall is, um, yeah, I'm curious about the wall. So see if you can get some information around that. Like, what is this wall? Like, why is it there? What is this invisibility wall?
So it feels like part of it's there and it's clear because it shows the possibility. But there's something about there's a disconnect of like getting through it. Like there's like a glass door that I can go through, but I can't, I'm like not turning the door. If that makes sense.
So the wall, um, it feels like this is related. What's coming to me is it's like around letting other people see.
Yes.
It's almost like wanting to protect this sacred space for yourself.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah, so just see if that feels true.
Yeah, which brings up another piece around like, I feel good about this sacred space and it feels perfect, but what if they don't like it?
Mm-hmm. Totally. Yeah, so just take a few breaths into that and feel it. This feels like the split, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So, what happens if you're in the space and they don't like it?
That's funny. I just heard, and so what? Like, it's fine that they're allowed to have whatever experience they want, but that's not a reflection of you. So it's sort of like opening the door and like now it's like a party. Like, sure, come on in, check it out. If you like it, great. If you don't, it's fine. You don't have to stay.
So, I'm curious though, like if you let people in, like does that feel like how does that feel if you would actually let them in the space?
Like 3 minutes ago, it felt anxious and nervous. And now it feels like non-resistant. Like, take it or leave it. It's fun. It's like exciting and vibrant, but it's not, I'm not trying to control the experience. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Well, it feels to me like there's some like we don't actually want to let them in, right? And I think this
Right.
is part of it. Like this is part of the fear because it's like if you are in it, if you're on the other side of that glass door, it's like this feeling of like I'm going to be like in this and like I'm going to there's going to be like a disconnect.
With them coming in, you mean?
Well, we don't they're not going to come in, right? This is your essence. This is who you are. Like
I
this space,
see.
this is your space.
Mm-hmm.
This is you. So there's like part of you that's like, but I want them to come all the way in, you know? Like I want everyone to do this. Or we're just gonna hide it. Because I would be all by
Yeah,
myself, you know, if I'm in it and no one else can come in, like how am I gonna be connected?
totally.
Yeah. And I'm curious like if your essence has anything to show you around that because I think there's a different truth. So if you want to just maybe look at the space and see like what is the truth? Like can your essence show you something about that?
I still get that resistance to receiving. Like, come here, come here, come here. No, go away, go away, go away.
Mm-hmm. Totally. But it's like when I'm looking at this place in the back, right? Like what I notice is it's flowing no matter what. So no matter
Yes.
what people are doing, so whether they are like coming, so like I see some people come sit by the river, right? Like they're coming sit in your energy. Like they're coming in your space, right? Like not in your space, but like in your zone.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. I'm flowing. I'm in my flow. Like I feel amazing, right? I feel abundant. And yeah, it's like it brings people in, but then there's like people that are also just kind of doing their own thing, walking around. It's like I'm kind of seeing like this park. That's the vision that's coming to me. So there's some people like walking around doing their thing, and there's some people that are like coming sit close. Um, and it's like no matter what, in this space of essence, like you're still flowing no matter what other people are doing.
That feels true.
Like, and it doesn't really matter what other people are doing because you are in this space.
Totally. It's almost just like witnessing that feels like a shift. Like not needing to convince them to come in or not push them out or whatever. It's like we're sort of all in this space together, but it doesn't rock my essence.
Totally. And like if you look at this to like the essence piece in the back, like the river, it has a natural boundary, you know?
Yep. Totally.
So
Totally.
it's like when I look at this flowy energy, it's like it's flowing, but it has a natural boundary. Like, when I see the people coming towards it, they're not going into it, they're sitting on the edge, right? So it's like
Yep.
people aren't invading your space. You're not taking on other people's energy. You're not projecting your energy onto them. You're just in your space, and it's giving other people the opportunity to be in their space too.
Totally. 100%.
Yeah, beautiful.
So good.
Yeah, so see, like, just kind of checking back in the front. Does it feel like that earthquakiness is still happening? Is there a way, yeah, is there any other last pieces that we need to tend?
It's funny. I feel like the vision I had was like a puzzle piece fitting together, like the ground, and then like um sprinkling soil over it. So like it's being nurtured, like it's still healing, it's still present, but it's not completely separate.
Mm-hmm. So let's just try this one thing.
Right?
What, so you can see how this would feel. Like, how would it feel to turn up the volume of your essence? Like, does that feel dangerous, or does that feel like it would actually feel good?
It feels, the first word I want to say is needed, but not in like a desperate need, but more of like a readiness or excitement, I guess is the word. It doesn't feel scary. It feels like, of course,
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So maybe just check in and see, like, on a scale of, you know, 1 to 10, what is your current essence energy at? What are you operating at right now? with this earthquakiness?
I would say somewhere between probably about a 5.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like it could go either way.
Yeah. So maybe just see like if you can, I would just go up like one notch at a time. So if you can bring it to a 6 and just take a few breaths at the 6 and see what that feels like.
It definitely feels better going in that direction,
Mm-hmm.
traveling up.
Yeah. So just see, if you want to go to the 7. And then maybe the 8. Feels like that might be the place to kind of let it rest.
Mm-hmm. I was just going to say, just about at 8 feels like, and we're good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so just taking a few breaths there and inviting it all the way down to your roots, all the way up into your crown. So letting this energy fill your body, your space, noticing how it feels. How is that?
It feels like playful.
Yeah, beautiful. So good. So take some time to soak this in, and you can continue to visit this space and, explore it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and keep us posted.
You're the best.
Thanks for being willing.
Thanks for having me and holding space.
You're welcome. Such an honor. Beautiful. All right. So, yeah, this is it. Like we can't see these things without being held. It's hard to see it with your own eyes, even dropping into your own knowing. Sometimes we even get caught in what we think is the problem, right? So even when we dropped into the session, it's like the mental and dropping into the heart that felt like it was the thing, right? But actually, it wasn't. It wasn't where we were going to make the biggest shift. So, this is the magic. This is the magic of the work that I do with my clients, a space that I love holding for them. This is what the magic of what allows you to create more magic in your business and even get more results for your own clients, because the more you step into your essence of who you are, it's like that energy radiates in everything you do, and you are then giving you're then holding that space for your clients to step more into their magic. So it's really the gift that keeps on giving. And yeah. So any other questions? So I have some spots opening for my 6-month mentorship, and I'm offering some amazing bonuses right now. So if anyone is interested, in chatting more about how I can support you and what it would look like to work together, reach out to me. I'd love to talk with you, and we can dive in and see what's forward for you, and what magic we can create, what also the possibilities that are available for you to step into. So, if you feel called, definitely reach out to me and we can talk about that. And I'm just sending you all so much love. Thank you for being here, and thank you for your willingness to spontaneously join me for an impromptu call. And I'd love to connect with you all in the Facebook group as well. So join me in Soul Inspired Success, and share what came forward for you, and let me know too if there's any support that I can give you there. So hope you all have a fabulous day. Sending you so much love.